Hey, what's up guys, back with another video. If you're joining for the first time, I do appreciate you and welcome to the channel. Let's get right into it. The quick keys for the Roland P-6. This is a menu diving beast. I've been asked to do this for a while. Let's get into it. So to stop all sounds, you can hit shift exit or you can hit play twice. Again, shift exit or play twice. Let's talk about how you access the buses. So for the bus, you have multi-effects and you hit the pad. That's bus A. Multi-effects plus delay, hit the pad. That's gonna be bus B. While we're on the topic, let's talk about how to access your effects bus. I said in an earlier video that the bus A and bus B will be a dry signal. If you wanna put effects on any of your samples, you have to put it in an effects bus. In order to do that, you're gonna hit the pad twice. Let me demonstrate. I'm gonna hold down multi-effects, hit the pad twice, and then you have effects on the screen. It pops up pretty quick, but if you hit the pad twice while holding down multi-effects or multi-effects and delay, you will access the effects bus. Copy and exchange. If you wanna copy a sound from one pad to the other, select the pad that you wanna copy, and you're gonna hold that pad down, you're gonna hit shift plus play, and you're gonna see copy pop up on the screen. And once you have copy, you go to enter, you'll see H2 pop up on the screen. That's your current pad where you are. Now you want to select a pad where you want to go. Let's put that in pad 1 or on pad 1. You'll see pad 1 pop up next to H2. We're going to hit enter. And now that sound is on pad 1. You want to exchange this sound with another pad. Let's exchange it with this one, this hi-hat here. So we're gonna exchange pad 2 for pad 3. Same concept. We're gonna hold down pad 2, hit shift play. We're gonna scroll to exchange, enter. We're gonna select the pad we wanna exchange with, which is pad 3. And we're gonna enter. And you'll see the progress bar. Done. And now that snare is on pad 3 and the hi-hat is on pad 2. While we're on the topic, let's talk about copy exchange to a different bank. Same concept. We're gonna hold down the pad, shift play. Now, right now we're in bank H. Let's enter and let's find an empty bank or an empty pad in another bank. Here's an empty pad. So we hit 6, which is in bank C, and we would hit enter. Right now we're in bank H. We're gonna hold the pad, shift play. We're gonna hit enter. Find a bank with an empty pad. We're gonna hit that pad. If we wanted to execute, we would hit enter. And that's how you copy exchange to a different bank. Right now we have that pattern there. We're gonna double this pattern length. So we hit shift and we go to page right. That little hollow little circle there represents pages. So we're going to double this pattern length and make it 2 pages. So we've already selected our pattern, which is pattern 1 in bank 3. And we're going to go shift play and we're going to scroll over to duplicate. Usually by default, it'll be on pattern. We're going to scroll over to duplicate and we're going to hit enter. It says done. So now we exit and this pattern now is going to have 2 pages. And you can see here, this is page 2 and this is page 1. And you'll see that little hollow circle being toggled from page 1 to page 2. And that's how you duplicate the pattern length. Let's say we want to delete a pattern. We're already on a pattern. We are on pattern 1 in bank 3. So we want to delete this pattern. We're going to hold down the keyboard button, select octave up or octave plus. And we're going to scroll over to ITPT. And once you're there, you would hit enter. Now, me personally, I don't want to delete this pattern, so I'm not going to do it, but that's how you do it. Alternatively, you can also press select menu and you can scroll over to ITPT this way. And you can delete the pattern that way as well. That would be the long way. The short way is the way that I just did. by just holding down the keyboard button, octave plus, hit the enter key, and your pattern is deleted. If you want to delete a bank, you hit delete, select your bank, hit delete again, and that will delete the bank. I'm not going to delete the bank because that's not what I want to do, but I just wanted to show you how that's done. We're going to hit delete, select your bank, hit delete again, and that will delete the entire bank. If you have multiple patterns and you want to delete all your patterns, press shift plus the B key, and that will clear all patterns. And here you see clear A, and that will delete all of your patterns. So be careful with that one. Let's say you want to trigger a sound and you don't want that sound to play. You hold down pattern and you select the sound and you will not trigger that sound. Let's say you have parameters, certain parameters set on your sounds and your pads, and you don't want to alter that parameter. You can just hold down pattern and it will let you know what the parameter is without changing it. You can see here, I'm turning the knob and nothing is happening because I'm holding down the pattern key. But if I turn that knob and I'm not holding the pattern key, you'll see it start to adjust. But if you don't want it to move and you just want to peek into the parameter, hold down pattern and turn the knob. Let's talk a little bit about the loop. If I hit the loop key and I hit the pad, it's just going to simply loop. If I hit loop twice, it will now alternate between forward and reverse. All right, let's talk a little bit about the multi-effects punch-in. That's where you hold the multi-effects and you can toggle in the MFX here on the step keys. Let me demonstrate. I'm accessing those effects by just holding down the MFX button and toggling the step keys down here at the bottom. While we're on the topic of effects, there are also moment effects where I can hold down pattern and access any of these 5 effects here: delay, pitch, scatter, filter, so on and so on. These have nothing to do with the effects on the step keys or the multi effects. However you want the effect to play, or however wet or dry you want, you set that. And then once you set it, you can go ahead and access the effect that way by holding down pattern and punching the 5 effects up here. If I want to mute a pad, I just hit shift or hold shift and hit the pad. If I want to mute a bank, it's the same concept. I just hold down shift and tap the bank key, and that will mute the entire bank. Earlier, I spoke about duplicating a pattern. Then I should have went into pattern length, but I didn't. So I'm going to show you now. There is another way to change your pattern length. Let's see how many pages this pattern is. So we're going to hold shift, page right, and we see that this pattern is 2 pages. So you basically have 32 steps here. Let's change this from 32 steps to 16. So we're going to hold shift and go to last. You see 32 here. So we're going to scroll to 16, exit, and now this page or this pattern is only 1 page. Let's put it back to 2 pages. We're going to hold shift, last step, and we're going to turn the encoder wheel to 32. And now it's back to 2 pages. And that's how you can adjust your pattern length as well. You can preview your steps. So here, as you hit the pad, your steps will come up on the steps here. This is the kick, this is the snare. If you want to preview a step to know what a particular step is doing, while the P6 is stopped, you can hit record and you can scroll through your steps. And if you notice on the screen, it'll count down the steps or accelerate the steps. So here you step 27, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, etc., etc. And when you get to the step with the sound on it, it will sound. So here you have snare on step 21, snare on step 29, so on and so on. So let's talk about some of the volume options that you have per step. I'm going to add a kick here. In fact, let's change this. Put this to 1 page, 16 steps. So now we have 16 steps. I'm going to add a step here. You see I have that double kick there. So let's say I want to change that volume of the double kick. I'm going to hold that step and I'm going to hit the pad. And as I hit the pad, you'll see different levels. So here you have weak, medium, strong. Let's see what that sounds like while I'm doing it. Medium. Weak. You see, it just sounds a little cleaner now. Now it's back to strong. So if you want to adjust the volume of a step in 3 steps, weak, medium, or strong, you hold the step and hit the pad wherever the sound is, and you'll get that option. Now, while we're on the topic, you can also access the volume of a step with the granular key. So I'm going to play this and I'm going to adjust the volume of this step. And I'm going to do that by holding the step and hitting the granular key. I'm holding the step, and here you'll see V. And now I can adjust the sound of that step. To adjust the timing of a step, it's the same concept. Let's mess around with the snare timing. So here, we're going to mess around with the first snare. We're going to hold the step, hit the granular key, and go to T for timing. Now let's shift this forward. Bring it back a little. And now I'm bringing it back really far, all the way to 50. So that's how you adjust the timing of a step, or you nudge your steps forward and backwards. You can also adjust the tuning of a step. So let's adjust the tune of this snare. I'm gonna hold the step, hit the granular key until you reach the end. Now you see it's on C4, so I'm gonna bring it down. I'm going to hold the step and bring it up. Get the drift. We can also adjust the probability of a sound, whether we hear the sound or we don't hear the sound, and we adjust that the same way. We're going to hold the step, granular, and we go to P for probability. Now it's at 100, so every time that step comes up, you're gonna hear the sound. But if you hold the step and you begin to adjust this, let's put it down to 30%. That sound will only come 30% of the time. Let's turn it down to 0. Now you won't hear it at all. You want to mess with the probability, which is under the P setting. You hold down a step, press granular, and you go to P, and you can play around with the probability. You can also set ratchets in the granular menu. If you hold the step, we can go to ratchets and you'll see that hollow circle, that little hollow circle again. And if you play around with that, you can roll your sounds. And that's how you adjust your ratchets. You can do that with hi-hats, snares, anything your heart desires. That's going to bring this one to a close. I hope this helps. the Roland P-6 quick keys. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep banging out those beats. Until the next time, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. All right? Take care.